Hello, the book I'm going to be reading to you today is called Truman, and it is written by Jean Reedy and illustrated by Lucy Roth Cummins. I'm going to read this little inside cover to you. Truman the tortoise lives with his Sarah high above the taxis and the trash trucks and the number 11 bus, which travels south. He never worries about the world below. Until one day when Sarah straps on a big backpack and does something Truman has never seen before. She boards the bus. Truman waits for her to return. He waits and waits and waits. And when he can wait no longer, he knows what he must do, even if it seems impossible. So we're going to find out what Truman does when Sarah boards this bus. You can see Truman right there. Truman was small, the size of a donut, a small donut, and every bit as sweet. He lived with his Sarah high above the honking taxis and growling trash trucks and shrieking cars, and the number 11 bus, which traveled south. There's the bus right there. Truman never honked or growled or shrieked at anything or anybody. He was peaceful and pensive, just like his Sarah. One day, Sarah ate a big banana with her breakfast, clipped a blue bow in her hair, and buttoned up a brand new sweater. She strapped on a backpack so big, 32 small tortoises could ride along in it, but 0 tortoises did. You see, they're counted all the tortoises all the way to 32. Sarah placed 7 green beans in Truman's dish, 2 more than usual. She kissed her finger and touched it to a shell and whispered, "Be brave." Then she left. Not to worry, she'd left before, and she'd always returned. But this time, that backpack was particularly big, and Sarah looked particularly pensive, and that banana, and that bow, and let's not forget about those extra beans. Look at Truman's face. What do you think he's thinking? Then, when Truman saw something he had never seen before, Sarah boarding the number 11 bus going south. The bus roared away. Not sure if you can see it, but there's Truman up there watching Sarah go on the number 11 bus. Truman waited for Sarah to return. He waited and waited. He waited 1,000 hours. Tortoise hours, that is, until he could wait no longer. He would go after his Sarah. He would catch the number 11 south, even amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking, even if it seemed impossible. Boink! What happened here? What happened? That's when he noticed the rocks, 3 rocks that had always been there. Ooh, what do you think he's going to do? There's 3 rocks. What do you think might happen? Let's take a look. Ordinary rocks that now seemed extraordinary. Look at him go! And the arm of a couch, and the pillow propped just right, and that tall, tall boot, and the rug, that glorious... You see, he started here in his cage right here, and then he got out here, and traveled all the way along here. He's on the rug, that glorious, truly unsettling, oh no, I skipped a page, endless rug. Without Sarah, their home seemed vast and uncharted and unsettling. Ooh, those seem to be some big words. Vast, uncharted, unsettling. Maybe we could look those words up and see exactly what they mean. Truly unsettling. What does unsettling mean? Let's look at their faces. What does that mean if it's unsettling? But perhaps most unsettling was that Truman could no longer see the taxis or the trash trucks or the cars or the number 11 bus. Which way was south anyway? It looks a little bit confused to me. Now the sun hung low like Truman's head and heart. Just then, look, where's he headed? There's an exclamation point here. Let's see what happens. And then, vroom, screech, whish! Up floors and under doors, Truman heard it. A bus! It was time to catch the number 11 south. Amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking, yet standing there in that ray of light, Truman felt peaceful and pensive and brave. He looks so determined now, like he's going to get somewhere that he needs to be. But just as he was about to slip under the door, through that opening, barely the size of a small tortoise, what do we notice over here? Sarah! She spotted him, shining like the sun. Truman! She cried. She scooped him up and said things like, oh my goodness, and you, and how did you ever, and amazing. Look at how they look. Look at their faces. They look very happy to see each other. Sarah kissed her finger and touched it to his shell and tucked him back safely in his tank, where he was peaceful and pensive and proud. Look at his face. He looks very proud. He found Sarah. And later, just before bedtime, she read him a story. It looks like she made him a book, and she called it Truman. Now, Truman knew that one day soon, he and his Sarah might travel south to see new sights and hear new sounds and think new thoughts. Where are they at here? What are they doing? Together. Wow, that book was really awesome. I have a couple questions for you guys if you want to answer them. What happened at the very end of this story? Where were they going? It says, now Truman knew that one day soon he and his Sarah might travel south to see new sights and hear new sounds. Looks like they might be where? Where do you think that they went? Where did Sarah take him on that number 11 bus? My other question for you is, how do you think Truman and Sarah felt about each other? How can you tell? My next question, toward the beginning of the book, it said that Truman waited and waited and waited. Said he waited thousands of hours, tortoise hours that is. How long do you think he actually waited? Remember where she went and how long that would actually take. Okay? My next question, or my last question, is what do you think that Truman learned about this, and what do you think Sarah learned in this book? Those are my questions for you to think about, and I will write those out for you to answer as well. I'm so glad you listened to my story today.